first thing that got me started in this art journey 15 years ago was actually a video game. I've talked about this a lot in interviews in the past. It was called Omerta, and it was like a mafia game, and it was a browser game, and you could build your profile. My 12-year-old self was like, oh, wait a minute. I can make these images because people would put images on their profiles. I can make them. I'm sure I can. And basically I started charging €1 per image. I made around like 30 bucks in a month, and I was like, yes, I'm a professional. I wasn't.
But I'd say it was Dragon Ball Z that got me into drawing. I remember for a period of time my life in school was just my friends commissioning me to draw Dragon Ball Z characters, and I also remember taking old used school notebooks, and I take a black pen and just scribble away to my heart's content. I just draw and draw and draw, and wherever I found space I just draw. And yeah, I loved it.
And it wasn't until a few years later that something in my mind just clicked. It was the game Oddworld, made by Lorne Lanning. And that game had one of the most immersive worlds and most unique designs I've ever seen in any game. And it wasn't until I grabbed the booklet from the CD case and watched at the page where they showed a photo of all the members that worked in that company, like the programmers, the artists, and all their names. And when I saw that as a 12-year-old child, I was like, whoa, wait. So you're saying that people worked on this, and that you can do this as your profession, and you can do this and earn a living with it? I want to do this. That's what I thought.
I started at a very young age. I believe I was 4, 5, or 6. I started drawing to my notebooks. By that time I was in kindergarten, and I always play with my crayons and chalks. Everything that leave mark on the surface, I draw or doodle on it. As far as I remember, I got into arts because I tend to watch cartoons and animes back then when I was a child. I imitate them by drawing it to another paper.
First thing I remember is like my first memory is literally just drawing, right? So that's all I did. As I got a little bit older, I started getting into more kind of meaningful and abstract art. I didn't really have the brain or the capacity to understand it when I was a little kid, but now I definitely seem to get more out of it.
For those of you wondering, where does the name The Font Diva come from? I originally started in digital art 15 years ago as a teenager, and I've been doing it ever since. I've worked with digital games, I've worked with apps. I originally did typography for book covers and different projects for authors. And so my job was basically fonts, not doing the art. But art is my passion. It's what I've always wanted to do. And color is my favorite thing to work with.